Okay, welcome to, I was going to say vlog, welcome to YouTube number 3. It is Friday, so my second YouTube will be going up tonight. Why do I feel pure nervous about it again? Oh my god, why I hate feeling this way, but I'm also like, Lauren, it's just a bit of fun. It's just a bit of fun. It's nothing serious. It's not too deep. Just enjoy it. And I do enjoy putting the videos together and stuff. So I'm like, there you go. So it is just after 2. I have just finished my job. And now am I going to my own job, like my business job. I am going to shoot some content. I am going to shoot some festive menu because this client has a festive menu coming out, so we're going to go and shoot some of the food for that, and then I'll get together some videos for that and we'll start putting them up. So it's really exciting. Even like saying stuff like that, like I'm going to go and shoot some content, I'm just like, this is something you've always wanted to do, it's something you've always thought about, and it's just dead exciting. Only thing is, Riva is having to be watched by my mum because by the time I get to where I'm going, shoot the content, and then I'd have to just struggle through the traffic back to my mum's house, and then at that point I think it was going to be like 6 at night, and at that, like, Riva's shutting down at that time of night. So my mum was like, I'll just keep her, and unfortunately I am having to take wee Daisy to the vets tomorrow, and the vets that I go to is like, I'd be passing my mum's house to go to it, so I know she's just pure unwell and I can't talk about it. Like, I was pure crying at my desk in work. It's hard because I did that post about her just turning 14 on my TikTok and getting her nuggets. But what you didn't see is that she didn't really eat much of her nuggets, and she's just really slowed down, and she hurt her paw yesterday and she's just in a bad way. It's honestly horrible. So I'm taking her to the vets tomorrow. So my mum was like, I'll keep, and also David's working away. I'm like, why does it not, what's the saying? Why doesn't it rain? It always pours, or something like that. And it always happens when David's away. So he's been away yesterday and today, he gets back tonight. But last night when Daisy was like yelping and she was obviously in a wee bit of pain, I was in the house myself and it was just me and Riva, and I was just like freaking out and I was like pure sobbing, and then David phoned me and I was just like, what do I do? And then it's like, it's almost like I can't think straight. Like I feel like I do well under pressure, but see, when it comes to like your family or your loved ones, or your pets, I pure can't handle it. My brain just stops thinking. Like this morning, my mum was like, why didn't you just bring Daisy with Riva today? And she's like, and your dad could have took her to the vets. And I was like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know why my mind just didn't think like that. So yeah, Daisy's been checked on today by a family member, so she is all right. So I'm going to go and shoot this, and then I'm going to be home, and then it's just going to be me and Daisy, and hopefully tomorrow at the vets, it's not any type of bad news. It's just hard because she's 14, and when a dog is 14, you just feel like it's already written off, that the vets is just going to be like, oh well, it's old age, and what can you, like, they're not exactly going to be like, let's do a surgery on a 14-year-old dog. So it's just pure sad. So yeah, let's go and shoot this content, and then we'll get home. And David is home much later tonight than he should have been because he's getting a ferry back rather than a flight, and it's been delayed, so he's not going to get home till like 10 at night. So it'll just be a little meal for one as well. But I will post my YouTube, and I'll have my wee meal for one. Then I need to tackle tomorrow head on with Daisy at the vets and picking up Riva. So yeah, I feel like this started upbeat, but actually realistically life isn't always upbeat. It's not. That's just the way life is. But let's go. I don't know how much of you can see because I'm sitting in my car in the dark because I'm in a parking bit, and people are obviously looking for spaces, and I'm scared if they see me they're going to think this is a space. 2 minutes. Do you know why I'm like, there's someone parked over there, right? Like, there's someone parked over there, and clearly people are looking for spaces, and someone like pulled up and was like indicating to get in their space, and the person in the car was just like sitting on their phone like this. And I was like, if you're not coming out of the space, like, turn your lights off like me. I'm like sitting in the pitch black. I'm scared they can see me on my phone. What am I on here to say? Yes, Saturday night, and we're working again. Oh my God. Who thought it? Starting a business means you work quite a lot. So yes, I'm here to shoot some content for this client because they have an event on tonight. So we're going to go shoot a little bit of that. Oh my God, I'm sorry if I keep looking over there. It's just I keep seeing cars coming. Oh my God, go away, just leave me alone. Just let me vlog in peace. Oh my God. I'm like, they might not even be able to see me, but I just feel like they're going around in circles and just staring at me like, are you going to leave? So yeah, I'll need to leave. Yeah, it's Saturday. I did leave a wee bit early, right, because it's 5 o'clock just now and I wasn't going to come here until 5:30, but then in my head I was like, if you leave just now it means that you don't need to do dinner time with Eva. How bad is that? It's just I do so many dinner times, and if it means that David does a solo one, I'm just like, I don't care. So he's going to do solo dinner, bath and bed, which is quite possibly the hardest tasks to do. So yeah, he's at home, dinner, bath and bed for little Reva Bear, and I'm going to go shoot some content at this, and then I'll head home, and then I think me and David are maybe going to get a chippy. Yeah, that's really what we're feeling. Where's this bit of paper I was going to show you? Oh, I can't find it. I was going to show you something. I was going to show you a market employee, which I think's, oh, there it's there, which I think's actually really good. So this came through our door the other day, and it was from Ben's Gutters, and it says, hello, we're cleaning your close neighbours' gutters over the next few days. Maybe you would like to get yours cleaned too. Please call us on, and then the mobile number for an estimate. Best regards, Ben's Gutters. And it looks like it's handwritten. And I know this is probably a market employee. Do I think that Ben's Gutters is doing my neighbour's gutters? Probably not. But I instantly was like, oh my God, if they're in the area, we may as well just get it done. And David was just like, what? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, that's a market employee that I would fall for. Not that I would fall for. Like, I know it's a market employee, but I'm like, yeah, why don't we do it? I'm like, if they're going to be there, why not just get them to do our gutters too? I hadn't even thought about whether our gutters needed cleaned. We've been in the house 3 years, and I'm kind of like, is that, like, what is the time that people get their gutters cleaned? Don't know. But yeah, I like that it looked handwritten as well. I can't tell if that's actually handwritten with a Sharpie or if it's been printed on a compliment slip. It genuinely looks when you look at the back you can't see through it, so I think it has been handwritten and then put on a compliment slip. But for me, I like that too. I like the handwritten notes. I think that looks good. And yeah, that ploy of, we're at your neighbours, we could just do yours too. I'm like, go for it. And then they would be at me, so they wouldn't be lying to my neighbours if they put it through, because then they will be at their close neighbours. But yeah, there's a wee market employee that I think works well. I think your normal bang average leaflet that comes through my door goes in the bin, but this wee compliment slip with a handwritten note has been kept in my bag. So have a wee thought. Oh my God, there's more cars. Oh my God, just leave me be. I'm just trying to film. So yeah, let's head in, get some content, and it is Saturday night. And I'm working. Who'd have thought it? Who would have thought it? Not me. Not me, who wanted an easy life. But an easy life also means not having to do dinner, bath and bed, doesn't it? Doesn't it? So yeah, let's head in before anyone else tries to take my space. What is up with me? My brain. Let's go. Okay, oh well. That's because I'm eating a Bounty and bits of bloody coconut are stuck in my throat. A Bounty has to be out the fridge. It just has to be, like, it has to be so hard. Okay. Let's get started, eh? So YouTube number 3, I feel like I've already introduced it, it's number 3, but now I can't remember because I film things and it's TikTok, work, YouTube. So half the time I'm like, I'm filming stuff and I don't know what I've filmed for what platform. So here we are. I have my laptop out so that we can try and run through everything. So I'm trying to think last time we would have spoke. So I think also you're probably going to see a good few videos of me wearing this outfit, and I am filming lots in one day. It's not that I wear the same outfit all the time, just so you know. So, where were we? I am syncing messages right now on here so that I can see what I'm looking at when I'm talking to you. So we were at, you now know the name of the company, and you know I've set up a domain, and you know that I've set up an email, and from there it was creating a logo. So it was. So you saw that first one I made, and I'll pop it back up here again in the last one. It said So Social, and I got it made from a website. I can't even remember what website it was, or was it Canva? It definitely was just something that was, it pre-made it for you. So then I saw that TikTok and everyone was like, oh, all the girls use the same thing, like you can tell everyone's used the same website. And I thought, oh my God, like that doesn't look good, it doesn't look professional, so let's get one created. So I messaged Davizanti, she is a graphics designer, and she was like, I'll help you out. What did you have in mind? Now for some reason, and I don't know why, right, I was pure like feeling empowered by starting this business. So when I went to her, I was very much like, I'm feeling empowerment and women, and I really wanted to mean that. And I think it was just because I was getting right in and I was getting all excited about the fact that I was starting a business, right? So I said to her, I'm envisioning like me. And I think at the time I was thinking about creating like an emoji version of me. And I said to her, and I said, and I think I want to be like standing there and I want my hand out or like this, and I want to have the world in my hands. And I do still get it. I get like this whole like the world in my hands, but it doesn't really make sense. I think it's because at the time I was still thinking about the universe and everything to do with the universe. Tea break. Also, how cute are these mugs? I did a TikTok obviously when I was gifted these, and I use them all the time. Like, I try and only take things that are gifted if I know one, I'm gonna like them, or two, I'm gonna use them. So I love these so much. Like, honestly, they're the cutest and most Scottish thing ever. Right, I've just dug out the message that I sent to David's Auntie Angela. And it says, so the company is called So Social. My vision is a woman or even a version of me holding the world either in my hands or above my head. Above my head. Like, I can see what I was thinking, right? And I'll show you in a minute. And then I was like, I seen these. So I'm going to show you the very first one. So this here. No, wait. I'm going to go this direction. This here. So I really liked this one because I pure loved the female shape. I pure loved it. Like, she was strong enough to be holding up the world. But again, it was like all about female empowerment. Did really like that one, and I think David quite liked that one. So that was the first one I sent her. Then I sent her this one, and I think that had originally been my plan. That's obviously not me, that's just one I got from online, but I wanted to create an emoji version of me that looked like that. And then in my head I was like, is that tacky? Like, that's where my mind was going. I was a bit like, is that tacky? Is it, I don't know, like cartoony? And I didn't really want it to be like that. So then this is the next one. And that was more to do with hands. And I think you can tell that's a female's hands. She's got a manicure. She's got French tips. So we know it's a woman. Well, do you know what? Men have French tips too nowadays. So who am I to say that that's a woman's hands? But yeah, I looked at that and I thought, I like that. I like she's holding the hand. At that point, that was all I was thinking about, was the world in my hands. I totally forgot the direction I was going in. Like I said, I think just came up with a name, but the whole like universe was still in my mind. And then I saw this one here, which is just the one hand with the world, and I thought maybe that was it. At one point I was also thinking the emoji version of me standing like this and then holding something, like whether it be a computer or something to do with social media. But again, I was worried that was coming off a bit too cartoon-like, and that's not really what I wanted. So from there, I'm trying to think if I can hear what David's auntie said back to me on that. I says, I replied to her saying, me and David really like this one as it's really feminine, but also like she's going to take over the world. And that was that very first one there, like we said, feminine and taking over the world. And she just sent a thumbs up to it, but I think she must have been thinking like, not really sure that's the thing with. And then we talked about some other things. Then she says, okay, leave it with me and I'll mock up some ideas and designs for you. So I said, you're the best, Ange. And she went, let me look into it. So then she came back and said, the only thing about this one, and she was talking about this one here, she says, as if it's small, you could lose the outline and it could look like a blob. When creating a logo, you need to think of it working on all platforms. So she was saying to me, like, it has to work on your phone, a laptop, an iPad, it has to work on a website, an email, like it has to work everywhere. And at that point I was like, do you know what, I haven't really thought about that. I hadn't really thought about it. If it was on my website and you were on your mobile, how that was going to look. Like, realistically, that wee thin silhouette, it was going to look probably just like a line realistically. Right, I had to go back and listen because she voiced with me. So then she says she understood about the world in my hands. She says that in all honesty, she went, it's used an awful lot. She says, especially in climate change. And I was laughing because I was like, most of those like examples I got, I'm pretty sure were from websites to do with climate change or green energy. And at that point I thought, I get what you mean. Like, instantly you probably do associate like the earth in someone's hands probably towards like the green energy. And I thought, no, you're right. As soon as she said it, I was like, no, I get that. So I was listening to this there. So she then came back and was like, but look, it's your logo, and if that's what you want, she was like, well, we'll go for it, like that's what we can make it. She went, but I'll send you my logo. So obviously David's auntie has created a children's book. I have to show you that. I'm going to do a TikTok on it, but honestly, she's so talented. And she did all the like graphics and stuff for her book. So she done a logo for that, and she was like, why don't I send you mine? She was like, sometimes the simpler the better. And I think it was the same when I was thinking about the name. Remember, I was saying all these things, and then really I was like, scale it back. Why am I trying to make it something so much more than it had to be? So then she sent me, she says, I'm going to send you a couple, have a think and I'll let you know. So let me open that just now. So this right here, up here. So she says, this one is my favourite. It represents a woman's shape. The circle at the top is the head / the world. It may be too out there for you, but the purple represents moving forward, and the pink is sweet. And I loved the colours. I loved the pink and the purples, and I love that purple is meaning like moving forward. And I really like these. Like, I like that the head could mean the world, so like it also had two meanings. But by this point, when she sent me this, and there's the hands at the bottom like holding the earth, I think I was just past it being a person. I think I just, especially like when she'd said that, looking at that on a website, that is quite thin, although it's curvier. But who am I to have a curvy woman as my logo? I ain't a curvy woman, am I? So at that point I was a bit like, oh, I don't know. And then I didn't really like the greens. I knew that. I didn't like the peach and the green. So David's auntie explained that colours have a meaning, especially when you're doing your marketing. So have a think about it. And then when she said the purple meant going forward, and I always like purple, I always like pink, I was like, they're good colours for me. So I came back and I said to her, yeah, I seen it used a lot in Green World and Peace, and that did mess with me. At first it was just meant to be about me, and that's why I like the silhouette. At first I like the idea of the powerful woman, but it's marketing and social media that I'm going to be doing. I like your idea, so could you tell me more? Because she knows more than me. So I replied back saying that I liked what she'd done with the silhouettes, but I think it would be good to incorporate something to show marketing and social media somehow. I said I'm actually a wee bit all over the place with it, so any guidance would be appreciated, because although this is like my third YouTube to use it, so this is the third week, this all happened relatively fast. I'd obviously decided to start this business ages ago, but really from getting work and going out and working and invoicing and getting my work done, that all happened fast. So I wanted my logo in place. So then she came back and said, so then she sent me her logos, which I won't put up here, but they're just like fine line writings, and it's just written. And then I was like, do you know what, that's actually quite good. So basically what she was saying is there, a lot of the time people like to put too much into a logo that actually it gets kind of lost. So at the bottom of, I'll show you this one here, at the bottom of it should put So Social down here. And at this point I was still wondering whether I was going to do So Social as two separate words, or they are still two separate words but merge them into one. And she went, why don't we look at more the writing and the colours and actually not particularly look at a logo? So at that point I sent her the one I had done on that quote, and I said, look, this is what I had done before. And that's when she came back, and I think she was like, that writing is too joined together, it's too close, like it doesn't really look like it. So I went back and I was like, look, let's focus more on the writing maybe. I was like, but I would quite like to incorporate some colours, and I would like something, even if it's just a little thing to do with social media or marketing, or something to do with networking or something. And this is what she came back with here. Okay, I was just pulling it up. So this was it here, and at this point I could really feel us getting to it. I really liked these. I was instantly drawn to the circle one here, like that one here, and I was instantly drawn to this one here. So out of all of them, I liked the bottom ones, right? So I quite liked this one here, but to me that looked like a kind of Polaroid or more of like an Instagram post. And really when you're doing social media marketing, it's all platforms, and to focus on it just like that, it maybe looks like I'm solely focused on Instagram, or that like that would be like where I'm really looking at. I liked the speech bubble. I really liked them all, to be honest. We were really coming to it. So I asked David, we sat together, and I think he was the same as me. He thought that that one was too much to look like Instagram, so he was like, write that off. The other ones beside that, these ones here, that was when Angela looked up networking. That's what it brought up for networking. But I just didn't think that didn't fit, so they were written off. So the first thing we had to look at was whether we wanted it to be so social or so social. Do you know what I mean? Like all one word, or so social. So I was looking at this one here, and I think David was like, oh, I don't know, like when it's all together it looks like SOS, and I was like, fair enough. So I knew I wanted them kind of separated on separate lines rather than one line, and then that took away whether it was going to be one word or two. So at that point we then had to decide what shape we liked. So I liked the circle and I liked the message box because I thought that worked with everything really, but I wasn't sure what direct message I wanted. So I liked the one that was blocked out, but then David said that could look like northeast, southwest. And I was like, wouldn't even have thought of that, to be totally honest. I quite liked it as an A. See, now I'm looking at it, I do quite like that. But actually, I think I preferred it just separate. So I went back to Angela and said, right, I like the circle, I like the speech box, I'd like the message sign, but not to be blocked out. And I like those colours. So what can we do from there? And from there, we got this. Let me open it and see. So from here we got this, because at this point we then had to start thinking about colours. Did end up sticking to the purple and the pink. I didn't like the green. I didn't like the green with the pink. I maybe would have liked the pink with other colours, but I just liked the purple. I was drawn to the purple right from the start. And sometimes I do think, like, when you're given too many options, you then start to change. I was watching a thing on 24 Hours in Aldi, and it was saying that Aldi are doing so well and they managed to save the consumer money by having less choice. So it was saying that when you go into Asda and they have so much more choice than what Aldi would have, it actually can confuse you. You actually end up sometimes just walking away from a product because say you're going to get a spice and there's 45 million types of one spice, whereas you walk into Aldi, there's maybe 2 or 3 types of that spice, you're just going to pick one, and they're cheaper because the less running costs of getting, it was saying like transport. So if you buy loads of spices from loads of different companies, you have to pay for a load from each of them, so you're going to be buying less, so that when you buy less you don't get as good a price. Then you have to pay transportation costs, and it was saying that from that's what drives your cost up, whereas Aldi will buy from less suppliers but buy more bulk, and because of that there's less transport costs, they get better deals because they're buying in bulk. Less choice to us, but actually we're getting a bigger saving, so the more choice you've got actually doesn't always benefit you. And from that I thought, you know what, I'm going to stick to what I've got, and from there was created the logo. I think we then took a look at, so from there we then looked at fonts. So here is the fonts, because you also, I didn't like, I think I stuck to the top one, yeah, the thinner one, because I didn't like it. Or did I go for the bottom one? What one did I go for? It was so long ago now, I'm like, Jesus. I like the top font, yeah. So she says, I've given you other fonts, not a big difference, but you can let me know what your preference is. And I said, I like the top font, thin but it also stands out, looks nice and clean. I think I'm going to use the first and the third logo on the top line. So they were like the ones I was planning on using. And then she just sent me them, yeah. So that was the ones that we ended up using or going with. Yeah, so this one here and this one here. So I can use both of them. I don't know why in my head I was like, oh my god, I have to pick one logo and stick to it. You don't. You can have like a good few logos if you want. You can use them on different things. Your email logo could be a different one to your website logo. It doesn't have to be the same. Obviously it fits in and it looks good. But yeah, these are the ones I went for. I really hope that you like them and you see the process it took for us to get there. I am forever grateful that I had David's auntie. I hate asking family for help because they're always so busy. They've all got so much going on. Like I said, Angela's writing her kids book. I think she's just published it, just released it, and she's starting her second. So I didn't want to be like, hi, can you help me? But I'm so glad my mum and David both were like, ask Angela for help, like, you know she'd love to help you. And I am so glad I did, because I'm thinking to myself, what would I have created or what would I have went with? I wasn't really thinking it through. Like, I wouldn't even have thought about how it looked on websites, if it was thin, if the writing was too small, people with older eyes to younger eyes, colours, what colour means what, trying to incorporate social media and like that. I was thinking about me standing there holding a laptop, and I'm like, from there to there, like, look how much different it is. And that's not to say that'll be my logo forever. People change their logos all the time. People rebrand all the time nowadays. One of the websites I had went on when I was trying to design it and while I was speaking to Angela, and one of the very top things it had said was about, in logo design, an icon is a simplified visual that captures the spirit of your brand. A common misconception is that your icon should literally be an image of what your product or services is. And then obviously that's when I was like, maybe I should be holding a laptop, or maybe I should be doing something to do with social media, because in my mind I had to be doing that to show you guys what it was I did if you looked at my logo. But let's be fair, like the Nike tick, you wouldn't know that that's what they'd done, just because if you had no idea who Nike were and you saw that tick, you wouldn't know that shows that they create sportswear. You wouldn't know that. It was saying that while it may benefit some, it doesn't have to be the case for all businesses. You can explore a more conceptual or even abstract icons to emphasise what your company does. So I like that mine has the wee speech bubble, or that it had the direct message sign, because that is part of social media and marketing, but it isn't all of it. It also doesn't box you into that's all you do. Like I said, when I saw that one and it looked like Instagram, I was like, that am I then making it look like I just focus on Instagram when I don't? As I've actually just read here, it was saying that the iconic swoosh of Nike is actually with regards to the feeling of movement and speed, which is for a sportswear brand. So that makes sense. Like, that's why it's that tick. It's about movement and speed. It's not to do with the fact that they sell clothes or like sportswear. So that's exactly what I was meaning when you are thinking about maybe putting together a logo. It doesn't have to be a picture of what it is you do. It just has to mean something. One of the other things I had saw was about like your logo, like trying to be timeless, and there is fads that come about and things that you could follow. And in my head I was thinking, me trying to make myself an emoji, I'm like, that's probably like something that we're doing now, but are we going to be doing that in 10-15 years? Is a like emoji version of me going to be cool in 10-15 years? Probably not. Maybe it will. Maybe if anything, everything will be emojis. Who only knows? But it has to say timeless, and it will like continue through. And I think the simpler the better for me. You might obviously disagree with what I'm saying. It's probably like our own thoughts, but I think if there's less to it, it's a bit, it's more timeless. One of the things it's actually saying here, and it's actually saying that on quite a lot of websites when it was saying about creating your brand, is it's saying look at your competition and see what they're doing. But that's not something I done. I wouldn't even think that I have competition. Like, Jesus, when you're just starting out, like, it's bold of you to be like, I'm gonna look at the competition and see what they're doing. But you should be thinking that way. You should be thinking that way and see what they're doing. But I also think, who cares what your competition is doing? Who cares what other people's look like? I personally think, this is just me, I don't think you should even think about what other businesses are doing, to an extent. Obviously, like, you'll see things and you'll see what they're doing, but I think try not to get bogged down on what other people are doing or what other businesses are doing. It's the same in, like, I see it all the time in social, like on TikTok, right? And people are like, I was focusing on what other people's content was, I was focusing on what they were doing, and then I was trying to, I saw that they were getting like, so I started trying to do content like that, but it didn't fit with me. I didn't like doing content like that, and it's things like that. I don't do what you're not comfortable doing. Don't look at other people and be like, right, that's how I should work, that's the box I should fit into. And it's something I would say for years I probably did try and do, was fit into the box that everybody else fit into. But why? Like, what does that do for you? And that's one thing I'd like to teach Riva. Like, don't shoehorn yourself in. Like, be different. Although I do think being different is also hard. But yeah, that's like, so when it's saying look at your competition and research them, fair enough, have a wee look, but still, if there's something you like, or you're like, no, I actually want my logo to look like this, go for it. go for it. Like, I know David's auntie, if I'd went, no, I definitely want the silhouette of the woman with the world in her hand, she'd have been like, let's go for it then. And she would have supported it. She'd have been like, let's make it the best woman that we can make it then. And like we say, the colours might have meant something and the font might have meant something. But yeah, don't like do something just because that's what other people are doing. I have actually just had to turn the light on and it's 3:20 and it's pitch black outside. So yeah, so we are now technically working 2 bloody jobs. Monday, I actually just worked at home and now I'm editing and doing videos. Tomorrow, I am going to my normal work, and then when I finish that, I'm going to work for myself. I'm going out, and it's a late one. I'm like going out at like 8 o'clock at night to shoot some content. A bloody night shift, eh? Look at me go. Then on Wednesday it's my day off, but in the morning I am going to go and shoot a little bit of content, and then it's my day off and I'm just going to enjoy my day off. And then Thursday I will put together this video and post it on Friday. I feel like I've kind of lost my way a wee bit with the other platform. I think I'm doing like longer videos on here. When it comes to posting anything there, I've just kind of lost my way a wee bit. I don't know how to explain it. Like I don't know if it's because all the excitement I have is creating this and coming on here and talking about it and talking to you guys about it, that I've kind of lost it a wee bit over there. I'm also just tired. Like I am working hard, believe it or not. These are probably like, shut up, but I am. David was laughing. He was just like, oh, how does it feel? Because obviously I've been up here part-time worker for a wee while now. And I'm like, Jesus, I know, like, what's it like working this hard? On Saturday, obviously, when I went out to work, he gave Reva dinner, done her bath. He said he read her book. She went to bed. He said he came downstairs and he was watching the Formula 1 and all that. And I was like, aye, and I was out bloody grafting. And I was like, oh, how the tables have turned, eh? Oh, how the tables have turned. It's quite funny, but I love it. I do love it. But my energy when it comes to filming content actually for this job, like for So Social, and then filming content for YouTube, and then filming content for the other app, it is getting me drained slightly. I just need to get past it. Like I just need to try and get it out there. Because I do still love the other app. I'm just getting tired with it at the same time. Right now it's just obviously Black Friday, so it's all you bloody see. Like, I'm a content creator on there and even I'm bored of it. I can't imagine how you guys are feeling, like constantly flicking and it's just TikTok shop. And I think they're saying that right now that's all TikTok is pushing out, because obviously with it being Black Friday, they make their most amount of sales, so they're pushing out all of that. So it's all I see. It's all I see. And like, I don't mind taking the odd TikTok shop sample if it's something I really want. It's like when I saw those Puma trainers and I was about to buy new Puma trainers, you best believe I was requesting a sample and taking them. But other than that, you will never see me just using my vouchers to get stuff. Mostly because in my head, I'm like, is it worth it? Is it worth taking all of that? And to me, it's like, it's not like anything I need. Is it worth taking all of that and then people can't be arsed with you at a later date? Like, they're like, oh, all you do is do that. And then people do, they switch off, they absolutely switch off. So I'm not willing to like do that to my community. I'm kind of like, well, no, if it's something I really want, I'll take it. I like those Puma trainers. That was the last thing I took. That was ages ago. I actually just buy everything off TikTok shop now, and you always ask me about it and you're like, can you link it? And I'm just like, no, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. But yeah, don't get me wrong, I can see how much creators make doing that Black Friday. Like, I bought a dress off TikTok shop, and I might try it on and see if it's nice for my Christmas night out. And the girl I bought it through, like, her link, it had been saved like 4,000 times. And I was thinking, even if she made a little, like a small percentage of people buying that dress to her, she'll have made an absolute mint. So I can see why people do TikTok shop, but I just don't have it in me. This is one other thing I'll quickly run through with you. I didn't know how to make my email look good. So this is what I sent to David. And obviously he came back with like, oh, you need to add like your website. And I'm like, I don't have a website. I don't have LinkedIn. I don't have like a works TikTok. I don't have a works Instagram. And he's like, why don't you look to create one? And here's me laughing, like, don't look at your competitors. I'm like, yeah, I'll go look at my competitors and see what they're doing on their Instagrams. Don't listen to me, but yeah, so this right here is what it looks like. I don't know how to make it look good. So that is what I'm going to be thinking about over the next week or so, and maybe over the next few days I'll actually just take you to work with me, because I think quite a lot of you have worked out one of the places that I'm working with, mostly because you've heard my voice in the voiceovers. I clearly have a voice that's made for voiceovers, a voice that's made for voiceovers, not that like a face that's made for radio. There you go, my voice is made for voiceovers, not my face to be in anything. So yeah, I think these are kind of guess one of the people I'm working with right now, and that is where I'm going to be going the next couple of days. So maybe I'll take you to work with me. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you like the logo, and any questions please ask me. I am going to maybe go over next week pricing yourself up, like working out how much you should be charging for things, creating an invoice, because I will be creating my first invoice next week, because I am working on a monthly retainer, so that will be a month of me working. So maybe we could do that together. I'll show you how I create it and what I want it to look like. So yes, YouTube number 3 complete. I hope you guys liked it, and again, any questions just ask me, and let's get ready for number 4.